Great rising, everyone. How's everyone doing this rising? So we're going to go into teaching 6 today, which is the erased voices. So let's begin. Number 1, who were they? The prophets weren't just men with scrolls. They were women with wombs, hands, and songs. The midwives, who caught life at the threshold of birth and whispered blessings over every child. The healers, who knew herbs, oils, prayers, and the rhythms of the body. Oracles and priestesses, who spoke dreams, visions, and divine messages when the people needed guidance. And grandmothers, who kept the oral traditions alive, telling the stories empire tried to erase. Point 2. Why they were silenced. Empire feared women who carried direct knowledge. A midwife who knows how to birth without a king's decree threatens control. A healer who can cure without buying from merchants breaks their economy. A grandmother who remembers the old ways keeps the people from fully bowing to empire's gods. Point 3. The truth they carried. Every day, women and men carry divine word in their bones, not just in temples, but in kitchens, gardens, riversides, and birthing rooms. The divine didn't only speak through kings and priests. The Spirit spoke through whoever was listening. That's the balance empire had to crush. Balance cannot be controlled. Now, how did they survive? Which is point 4. Even when the titles prophetess or priestess were stripped away, their work continued. The wise women in villages became the secret doctor. The oracle became the dream interpreter in the family. The priestesses became the quiet keeper of rituals disguised as cooking, song, or weaving. And the grandmother became the library that no empire could burn. Point 5. Feminine flames work. When we honor these erased voices, we honor the everyday sacred. The power of the divine never belonged to the empire. It was always in the hands, bellies, and breath of the people. Point 6. Practice for the collective. So tonight, light a small candle and call the names of the women who raised you. Mother, grandmother, auntie, even those you never met. And say, your voice is not lost. Your wisdom is in me. I will not let you be erased. And this is the final point for that part. Listen, the word is not locked up in a book or in a man with a title. The word is in the bones of the people. The empire tried to shut up the mothers, the healers, the dreamers. Their whispers still rise in the wind. You hear it every time your spirit stirs. That's the erased voice calling you home. So that's teaching 6 of it, pretty much overstating that the women, of course, again, has been silenced and erased from the text, making it seem like they had no part, even though they was the one that's bringing life into the earth and bringing life into this realm. Now, this is teaching 6.2 because we're extending this a little bit today. The erased voices with living proof. Point 1. Women in scripture they tried to minimize. Deborah, Judges 4 and 5. Judge, prophetess, and military leader. She literally led armies while men hesitated. Empire pushed her into a footnote because she destroyed the idea that women couldn't rule. Huldah, 2 Kings, chapter 22, verses 14 to 20. Prophetess consulted by King Josiah himself. She had authority to interpret scripture. Later tradition tried to erase her name while uplifting only Jeremiah. Miriam, Exodus 15, verse 20. Prophetess, song leader, and co-deliverer with Moses. She was stuck with leprosy when she challenged her brother's authority. An empire's symbolic punishment for a woman speaking too strong. Mary Magdalene, Gospel of Mary, John 20. First witness of resurrection, teacher of apostles. Empire smeared her as a prostitute to dim her authority. Wow. Point 2. Early women leaders, empire suppressed. Thecla, Acts of Paul and Thecla, baptized herself, taught the gospel, and led communities. Her stories were nearly erased because she proved women could hold priestly powers. Priscilla, Romans 16, verse 3. Apostle with her husband Aquila, teaching even men like Apollos. Church fathers edit her role into the background. Junia, Romans 16, verse 7. Named an apostle by Paul. Later, translator changed her name to masculine Junias to erase her rank. Number 3, prophets beyond the Bible. Okay. Sibyls, Greek and Roman world. Women oracles who spoke divine messages, including versions of the Christ before he was born. The church later absorbed their prophecies but erased their names. African prophet mothers. From Cushite queens, Kandakis, to village priestesses, women carried drum, song, and vision as sacred tools. Missionaries called them witches to silence them. Indigenous grandmothers. In the Americas, Turtle Island, the Caribbeans, women were the seed keepers, storytellers, and ceremonial anchors. Colonizers broke the circle by labeling them pagans. We on to point 4. What this shows. The Spirit never chose only men. It filled whoever was open. The fact that empires, translators, and church fathers spent centuries trying to bury these women proves how powerful they really were. Point 5, and this is a practice for the collective. Choose one erased voice that resonated with you. Deborah, Magdalene, Thecla, or an ancestor. Read or listen to her story. Then speak out loud. Your fire is mine. Your silenced word is rising again through me. Now this is the ending message for the collective, which will be the end of teaching 6. The reason they erased these women is because their voices prove the lie. Empire told us God only speaks through kings, priests, and fathers. But the record shows God, or rather source, spoke through mothers, sisters, dreamers, and midwives just the same. If they silence them, then they'll try to silence you now. But you carry their bones. When you speak, you're speaking for us. They try to cut out. It's unfortunate that we still go through this today. It's unfortunate that the foremothers do not be acknowledged for what they have brought to the people, to the collective. But what's not unfortunate is that they rise through the divine feminine who are physically here today. We will continue to speak on the behalf of them. We will make them more knowledgeable. We will make them more known. They will be more prevalent in the eyes of everyone. You can't talk about women and not say they are the creator. They create everything. You can't say that they're weak when they led armies when men hesitated. You can't say they don't speak truth when they was apostles and prophetess themselves. Is the meaning. And then you make them a footnote to make them unseen, unheard, as they do today living where women are beneath. No longer will that happen. We will bring the divine feminine voice back with so much fury and so much fire. Their names will no longer be lost. And we, as the divine feminine, are going to see to that. Hate it or love it. If this was only about men, there would be nothing but men in this world. What would you need women for? So to undervalue the women's voice is an insult. And again, it will no longer happen. All right. So that was the end of teaching 6. Talking about these beautiful, wonderful women whose voices was erased for no reason. Just besides the fact that they were women. It makes you question about how empire really felt about women and why did they put men. Seemed kind of questionable if you must ask, if you want to be technical. And that's just me, but to erase women out and not make them prevalent in this history when you have females, daughters, aunts, and everything like that is an insult. And then the women who has also been indoctrinated this also lower their stature to fit a narrative that men put out because they never wanted balance. It just was about control. So now we're going to go into the next one. This will be teaching 7, which we will continue on. And in this section, we're going to learn how to listen now. And in this section, it states, even without a full Bible, those voices speak through meditation, prayer, and ancestral dreams, and the body's knowing. So regardless, empire, if you're trying to shut us down, that is impossible. We have a mind, we have a voice, and we have a presence here for a reason. Okay? So, to the flame family, the spirit teams, to the ancestors, to the archangels, to the foremothers, the divine feminine, I would like to say, grand rising. I speak truth, and I share.